Remedy Live is a 24/7 faith-based chat center staffed by over 100 soul medics so people can get help anytime, day or night, and one conversation per hour centers around suicide. Clinton Foppel is back to tell us more about what happens when you take these mental health questions into schools and get anonymous answers from students armed with cell phones. The video that we have here to show of you guys going in kind of looks like a rock concert more than a Q&A.
It's an engagement activity. We want to make it fun. You know, years ago, cancer wasn't something you'd talk about, but now we got football players wearing pink shoes. It's a party.
Yeah.
We want to fight this disease. We want to do the same thing with mental health, Dirk. We want to make sure that it's something that is enjoyable but normalized. Let's talk about these secret struggles and get kids sharing what's going on.
So what did you learn as you ventured out and collected data from anonymous kids?
Yeah, so when we poll them through their phones, we're talking to thousands of kids in real time, and the screens are showing the data as it comes in. The sad thing is over 10,000 students polled around, do you know someone who struggles with suicidal thinking? You know, we're seeing 65% of Northeast Indiana teens that know someone. Just do the math there. You know, over 6,500 kids struggle within our region.
So again, you use the word specifically struggle with, not have you ever considered, or do you know someone who's ever thought about it for an instant? Struggle with.
Well, a friend telling a friend, I think, of suicide is a pretty big deal, right?
Sure.
If I told you that, you'd be concerned, and that's what we're seeing.
Okay.
Students know other students. And then we ask the question, well, do you have thoughts of suicide? And we're seeing 28% of about 6,700 students polled. So again, that's about 1,800 kids within our region, within the viewing audience that have struggles this way. Now, the reality is that Indiana is leading the nation right now as a state that has teens struggling with suicidal ideation. Not maybe acting on it, but thinking about it. And so it's really great that as an organization that's faith-based, we're partnering with over 40 schools in this last year since I saw you last to be able to help them poll their students but get them into the system of care. Get them into our chat center, get them connected with Bowen Center, get them connected with Parkview. We want these kids to know there's people that care, trusted adults that can make a difference.
Do you find, because the first question I would think anyone would who looks at this would say, kids are goofing around and they're not taking these seriously. It's a chance to get out of school and just goof with Mr. Guy up there who's got all the data, you know, and it's like,
I would have thought the same thing. I've been in youth ministry for a long time. In the late 80s, I would have asked these questions too. But now, when you go from school to school to school to school, and it's 3% different here, 2% different there, 4% different here, you start to see this isn't one school goofing off. This isn't just one kid. This is literally 40,000 students polled since I saw you last.
Wow.
And the data is consistent. And I'm not a researcher, but I know that that's something that's profound.
So yeah, we're looking at some of this here, and again, as I said, it kind of looks like a rock concert. You do this, I'm sure, intentionally because you find kids are more responsive if
it's their party.
Just having fun.
Yeah, and we're the only assembly in the country that I can find where we actually ask the kids what they think. I'm not up there speaking for 60 minutes. In fact, I probably speak 25 minutes of the whole hour.
Right.
But they're answering at least 10, maybe 15 questions that we're asking them via their phones, and they're giving us the responses. This is the selfie generation. They want to know, do you actually care? And we're actually putting that data up on the screen. And when you're a student in the back row and you're one of those 28%, you feel like, finally, I'm not alone. I always thought I was the only person struggling, but now I can see there are others too, and that's cool.
So you also found out some thoughts on bullying, sexting.
Yeah, sexting is far bigger deal than what we might know. Most students today are involved at some level. Either they are themselves sexting or receiving images. It's connected to cyberbullying, obviously. It's connected to teen suicide. Young women who thought they were in love with that boy that they break up with, the boy sends the photos, is now being found hanging in her closet. You know, that's a consequence of a generation that thinks these devices are private, when really, once the image is sent, it's out there.
What's the conversation parents should be having with their kids?
Absolutely. Sit down with your son or daughter. The first question that I would ask, do you have thoughts of suicide? And mental health is a big deal in Indiana. Do you have thoughts? And if not, do you have friends that think about this? Have you ever been bullied? Are you sexting with the phone that I pay for? You know, I pay the bill. Are you doing this with these devices?
There's an interesting result too. How safe do you feel that do you have a safe person to talk to?
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. They have a safe person. Are they talking to them? This generation knows there's a lot of people around them. Are they actually speaking? That's the question we ask. We find out a lot of them aren't. They will talk to their parents if the parents ask the question. They're talking to their peers. The problem is they're making promises. Promise you won't tell anybody, I struggle with this. So we're trying to educate peer-to-peer support, don't keep secrets, get a trusted adult in the mix. This is about helping your friends with their long-term future, not just their short-term gain.
There's so many questions that we didn't even begin to talk about. If you want to find out more, or if you know that you need help and you want to text anonymously, just to chat to somebody, the number here on the screen is 494949. That's it, 494949. Text and then start chatting with Remedy Live. We will be right back on Insight.